a lot of people still have doubt because they want to throw shade. They just can't grip their mind over the fact that how I performed in a fight versus him.
I don't think it's a bad fight, Sean. I mean, I think it's a good fight, and it's not a fight that shocked me, because you have to understand, in boxing, the best are fighting the best.
Terence Crawford has just shared his thoughts on his upcoming fight with Canelo Alvarez on September 13th. Meanwhile, Abel Sanchez said Crawford is a great fighter, but weight classes exist for a reason. He explained that Canelo proved himself by beating top opponents as he moved up. Sanchez added that moving from 140 pounds in just 14 or 15 months is risky, and without years to build proper size like Canelo did, Crawford's challenge will be much tougher.
Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why we have weight divisions. I think that Canelo has proven as he has risen in the weights. He's dealt with the best in his weight divisions that he's at now. He fought Bivol, and Bivol couldn't hurt him. He fought my guy, and my guy couldn't hurt him in 2 fights. The third fight I wouldn't even count as a fight. But to have a guy come up from 140 pounds in such a short period of time, I'm not saying he couldn't have done it. If he'd have taken 3 or 4 years like Canelo did and built up his, not only his strength, but his bulk in the correct way, he would have had a better chance. But to do it in these 14, 15 months that he's done it in, it's going to be difficult.
Abel Sanchez also said the first few rounds will be difficult because of Crawford's speed, similar to when Gennady Golovkin fought Kell Brook. He explained that once Canelo adjusts to the speed and movement, Crawford will slow down from carrying the extra weight. After that, Sanchez believes the fight will turn into a sparring session for Canelo, as has happened in many of his recent bouts after the 5th or 6th round.
That it's a tough fight at the first 3 or 4 rounds because of his speed, just like when we took Golovkin to fight Kell Brook. Kell Brook, being a welterweight, was a little faster, quicker at the beginning. But once Canelo assimilates the speed and assimilates the movement, and Crawford's going to be a lot slower because of the weight also. Once he does that, I think it'll be a sparring session for Canelo, as it is in most of his last 4 or 5 fights. After the 5th or 6th round, it seems like it's a sparring session. He's doing whatever he wants.
Abel Sanchez finally said that adding extra weight may not help Crawford. He's curious to see Crawford's fight night weight and mentioned reports of him being around 180 to 190 pounds. Sanchez believes dropping to 168 could be too much and that 158 to 160 would have been better. He said coming in heavy will likely make Crawford slower and won't increase his punching power.
I feel like people don't realise it with Crawford, like when he's putting this weight on, this is almost weight that may not even be beneficial to him.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to benefit him. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he weighs fight night. If the reports that I've read, he's up at 180 pounds, 190 pounds. So if he drops down to 168, I think it'll be too much. I thought that maybe 160, 158 maybe was the best form. But if he comes in at 168 or 170 pounds by fight night, 175, I think it'll be too much. I think it'll be slower. He's not going to punch any harder just because he got the weight.
However, Terence Crawford said he feels like he's finally getting the respect he deserves. He explained that many people now recognize his skills, especially after the way he defeated Errol Spence Jr. While a lot of fans give him credit, some still doubt him and try to downplay his win. Crawford said they made excuses, claiming Spence was not the same fighter, had stayed too long in the weight class, or was dealing with other issues. He pointed out that he had predicted people would say these things before the fight even happened. In the end, he believes he's getting the recognition he has earned.
Do you feel like you're finally getting the credit that you deserve?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people, see my talent, they recognize it, and the fashion that I've defeated Errol Spence Jr. and a lot of people give me my credit now, and a lot of people still have doubt because they want to throw shade. They just can't grip their mind over the fact that how I performed in a fight versus him. So they would say, oh, well, he wasn't the same fighter, or he was hurt, or this and that and this. He stayed in the weight division too long. But the crazy part about it is I had already stated that those was going to be the excuses come fight time when me and him fight. But, all in all, I'm getting my respect.
Ben Davison said he likes Terence Crawford but strongly favors Canelo Alvarez in the fight. He explained that it's not just Canelo's size, but also the many layers to his game that surprise opponents once they face him. Davison admitted he finds it hard to see a clear path for Crawford to win.
Canelo Crawford, I'll just get your thoughts on that fight, please.
Yeah, look, I like Crawford and I like his guys and that, but I heavily favour Canelo. So yeah.
What, is he simply just size, just too big?
Not just size, there's a number of factors, and I think that a lot of people picture Canelo to be a certain something, and when they get in the ring with him they see how many layers he's got to his game, and I just struggle to see a path to victory for Crawford, if I'm being honest.
John Ryder said Terence Crawford should use Dimitri Bivol's in-and-out movement as a game plan against Canelo Alvarez. He called Crawford an exceptional fighter who has achieved greatness across multiple weight classes, but warned that the size difference will be a big factor. Ryder believes it would have been better for Crawford to build up gradually at higher weights, yet acknowledged that great fighters take big chances when opportunities come.
Night you worked with him, with Billy Joe, that is, against Canelo. Do you see a version which has slowed down since?
I think he has on and off performances, and being honest, when it was first made I thought Canelo, like, not even, like, don't even need to look at it. Then Crawford boxed Madrimov and I thought, then Canelo boxed Skull and I thought, oh, so then, but no, yeah, I think he has a few of those performances here and there, and he just looked disinterested, but I think he'd be well up for this fight, and I think he's got a healthy respect for Crawford. But like I said, I just struggled to, I can see a number of paths to victory for Canelo. I struggled to see a path to victory for...
Johnson said Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is a 50-50 fight, but admitted it's hard to go against Canelo at 168 pounds. He thinks the size difference could be the deciding factor and believes Canelo might be too big, too strong, too experienced, and too physically imposing for Crawford to overcome in such a high-stakes, career-defining matchup between two elite champions from very different natural weight classes.
Face Canelo. If you could give some pointers to Crawford, what should he do to come out victorious in September?
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, what is it, 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is.
Amir Khan said Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is a great matchup and not surprising, as boxing is about the best fighting the best. He credited the recent investment in the sport for making big fights like this possible. Comparing it to other huge bouts such as Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua's top-level clashes, Khan said it's an amazing event for boxing fans as both fighters are at the peak of their careers and have achieved so much. He believes there is no real loser because both will deliver high-level entertainment, making it a tough fight to predict.
Last question, Rich. Canelo Crawford, September 13th, arguably the biggest fight since Pacquiao-Mayweather. Who you got?
I don't know. I want to say Crawford, but it's like you can't speak on Canelo either. 168, I don't know. That's a 50-50 fight.
You think the size is going to be the determining factor?
I ain't gonna lie, no, I think Canelo might get in. I think
Sean Porter predicted that Terence Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez. While he acknowledged it is still a competitive fight, he personally sees it as 60-40 in Crawford's favor. Porter believes Crawford will do something against Canelo that no one has done before. He said this prediction isn't based on seeing Crawford's camp, but rather on knowing Crawford's abilities and understanding that to beat Canelo, a fighter must bring something unique and different.